Well, I think we require a second settings. Well, well, all is set. Salam, Habibi. How are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Caesar de Santa. I am here with you. According with the titles, yes, today we are roasting Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Well, in the topics of the points, Indian naval military versus Bangladeshi naval terrorist. And here we would roast the similar reels as we have roast previously, and now here topic is just Indian naval military versus Bangladeshi naval terrorist, and where the point is Indian naval sovereignty. Okay, now here we can see these points. Well, just wait for 2 minutes. Well, and now here we can see. Okay, now it is the momentums at the points. Okay, now here we can see this Maulana Abu Taha Adnan says that it is the points masjid would be this in the recently Indians military destroyed masjid in India. It is at the signal that Indian sovereignty would be destroyed in the name of the masjid. That is the statement of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan. Okay, and now let's check it. Okay, now here we go. Maulana Abu Taha Adnan states that when um, Hindus need Akhand India to be Hindu India, and Maulana Abu Taha Adnan needs Akhand India, that would be La ilaha illallahu Muhammadur Rasulullah as the kalama of India. Ah, here is a concept about the map. Well, everybody knows that the surrounding, every surrounding of Bangladesh is India. In the three sides of Bangladesh, north, west, and east, India is a neighbor country. But according with Maulana Abu Taha, we surround to India's. I mean, the Bangladesh surround to India's. And here, that is the significant misinformations as we could see. Okay. Well, now first of all, let's check it. Um, uh, well, here we can see this Google mean, and here icon terms being don't map. Well, okay. Now here we can see these points. I think here now just 2 minutes wait please. Uh, well, and here we can see that is the moments. Here is Bangladesh. Everybody knows the eastern of Bangladesh is West Bengal. North side of Bangladesh is Meghalaya and Assam's. I mean, west side of Bangladesh is West Bengal, and eastern side of Bangladesh is Tripura, Mizoram, and southern side of Bangladesh is Bay of Bengal. But now, the southern side of Bay of Bengal is the Indian Oceans. But our Honorable Maulana Abu Taha believes the Bangladeshis are surrounding by India's. Which logics we don't know. And now let's take it. Oh no. Here is the misinformation at the momentums. I think we can say the misconcept at the moments. Just wait for some times. Here we can see some. Okay. Now here is that here we. Now let's mean that how Maulana Abu Toha explained that Bangladesh surround India. Well, now what is the western side of India? The western side of India is Iran, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Well, northern side of India is Nepal, Bhutan and well, Nepal, Bhutan, China and Afghanistan. And eastern side of India is almost Bangladesh, Myanmar, and southern side of India is here Maldives and Sri Lanka. But now, recently we have noticed that here is a significant diplomatic relation between India and Nepal. Here is a significant diplomatic relations between here China. Here is significant diplomatic relation between Sri Lanka and India. And here is significant diplomatic relations between Myanmar and Afghan. I mean Myanmar and India. And now here we know how Afghanistan accept India as the best friend of the sovereignty of Afghanistan. And that is the significant moment. Now who is the enemy of India? Only Pakistan and Bangladesh. Well, and here Pakistan do not accept themselves as a Bangladeshi. Okay. Now, where is the logic of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan that here they are captured here every Bangladeshi surrounded by India. I mean Bangladeshi are surrounding Indians. That is the significant questions. Well, now let's get the topics, and here let's get the points. And now we could see that is the momentums. Okay. Well, now here we can see here is a naval route. Here the Indian naval militaries, I mean India, particularly Indian naval submarine, would attack where the Bangladeshi terrorists. Well, Bangladeshi naval terrorists would be in Dhaka, Bangladesh, and Indian naval military would be in Kolkata, India. Okay. And now, who would request to Indian military to attack? I mean, particularly who would request Indian naval submarine to attack Bangladeshi naval terrorists in Dhaka, Bangladesh? Here is the moments. Now, he would be Shubhendu Adhikari. Okay. Well, it is just loadings at the moment. Okay. Now here we can see that is the significant moments. Yes, it has come. Okay. Here Shubhendu Adhikari would request Indian naval submarine to attack Bangladeshi terrorists. Our plan is here nautical miles between Kolkata, capital city of West Bengal, the provincial state of India, and Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, would be 44,426.3. Okay. And now, here is the moments. Well, no. naughty nautical mile to kilometers, and here I am converting nautical miles to kilometers, and here we can see triple 4 to 6.3, that is almost 83,000 kilometers are. Okay, now here we can see this moments. Here I would discuss the 83,000 kilometers would be naval distance between Indian naval submarine Kolkata, the city of West Bengal of India, and Dhaka, Bangladesh, through Indian naval submarines. And now here is the points. Now here we can see accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, Bangladesh is surrounding India. And here that is the points of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, that is significantly jokes, as we could see. Okay, now here we can see these points. Let's get the packs today notifies. I, and now let's check it. Well, and now here we can see what if Indian naval submarine contains the velocity to be 83,000 km per second. That is the significant points, as we could see. Okay. Well, I think it is ready to contain a calculator. Okay. Now let's condense the calculators. And now let's back to the movies. Okay. Well. Now here I would condense the sides. Well, here is Abu Toha Adnan's. Now let's check it. What is the ratio between velocity of submarine versus velocity of lights? Where velocity of submarine is 83,000 km per second. That is 83 divided by 300. And what is the points? That is 0.2767. Okay. Now let's check it. What is the value of lambda? Well, the value of lambda is almost 1 divided by bracket of square root of bracket of 1 subtract by bracket of 0.2767 square. Enter bracket close. Okay, and hence here we could see here lambda value of lambda is 1.082911, and hence when we can condense lambda subtract by ones, let's check it. What is the result? And now that is here 0.082911 is the value of lambda subtract by ones. And here we can see what is the points, that is here value of lambda subtract by ones. Okay. And now here is the moment. So let me take the points. What is the meanings of 83,000 km per second to be the velocity of Indian naval submarines, where the Indian naval distance between Kolkata of India versus Dhaka of Bangladesh would be 83,000 kilometers. That means here we can say this here departure time would be morning 6 o'clock, May 15, 2026. Here arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, May 15, 2026. And that is the significant ways as we could notify. Okay. Now here is the points, that is the significant points to be noted. Well, let's talk about the Bangladeshi naval terrorist submarines points. Okay. Now here we can see this. Here we can calculate it. I think so. We have to ask the momentums. Well. And here we can see. Well, velocity of Bangladeshi naval submarine. Well, in kilometer per hour. Okay. And now let's check it. What is the matters? I think here we can see this moments. Well, here, now let's check it the points. BNS Nabojatra and Bangladeshi naval submarines. Here velocity is 25 knots to 42 knots. Now let's consider as 42 knots. Okay. Now let's check it. Knot to kilometer per hour. Okay. Now let's check it. What is that? Well, that is almost 78 km per hour. Okay. Now let's check it. Here is the momentums. Well, Bangladeshi naval submarines velocity is 78 km per hour. Now let's check the points. Now here naval distance between Dhaka versus Kolkata would be 83,000 km per second. And here Bangladeshi naval terrorist submarine velocity is 83 km per hour. What is the meaning of that? It is the meaning of that is here Bangladesh naval terrorist submarine can travel 83,000 kilometers in 1,000 hours. Well, what is 1,000 hours? That is 833 days, 4 hours. That means here we can see this point. So 2 years, 3 months, 12 days, 4 hours. And now here we can see these points. Departure time is morning 6 o'clock, May 15, 2026. On the other hand, the arrival time would be here morning 6 o'clock, arrival time. And what is here 2 days from 2026, that is 2 years from 2026, that is 2028. Well, what is 3 months from May, that is August. And what is your 12 days from 15, that is 27. Well, arrival time would be morning 10 o'clock, August 27, 2028 would be the arrival time of Bangladeshi naval terrorist submarine on Kolkata with a traveling of 83,000 km per 1,000 hours. I mean, naval distance of 83,000 kilometers with the velocity of 83 km per hour. Okay, now here we can see these points. Let's compare the Indian naval submarine versus Bangladeshi terrorist submarines. Okay, now Indian naval submarine's velocity is 83,000 km per second. Bangladeshi naval terrorist submarine is with a velocity of 83 km per hour. Where is 83,000 km per second and where is 83 km per hour? That is here significant questions. But still, here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan states that Bangladeshi is surrounding the India's. Well, what is the reality? The reality is China, the nationality of China is Chinese, the nationality of Nepal is Nepalese, the nationality of Bhutan is Bhutanese, yeah, and the nationality of Afghanistan is Afghan, and the nationality of Myanmar is Burmese, and the nationality of Pakistan is Pakistani. None of them consider themselves as a Bangladeshi. Hence, here the points of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan is being illogical. On the other hand, when if Bangladeshi want to surround India with the naval points, still here we can see this Bangladeshi naval terrorist submarines has to travel at 83,000 kilometers in 2 years, 3 months, 12 days, 4 hours. And that is the significant and concerning points. But now, on the other hand, to travel 83,000 kilometers, Indian naval submarine requires 1 second. Okay. Well, and here the discussion is about the travel times. When the travel distance is 83,000 kilometers, here Bangladeshi terrorist submarine requires 1,000 hours. I mean 2 years, 3 months, 12 days, 4 hours. But Indian naval submarines requires just 1 second. Now, where is 1 second and where is 2 years, 3 months, 12 days, 4 hours? That is the significant advantage for Indian naval submarines to surround the Bangladeshi naval borders. Okay. And now here is the second point. And now, what is the travel arrival times? Well, both of Indian naval submarines and Bangladeshi terrorist submarines, naval distance is almost naval departure time is morning 6 o'clock, May 15, 2026. Now, traveling the naval distance to be 83,000 hours, Bangladeshi naval travel time, arrival time would be about morning 10 o'clock, August 27th, 2028. On the other hand, Indian naval submarines arrival time would be morning 6 o'clock, 1 second past, May 15, 2026. And where is arrival time to be May 15, 2026, and where is arrival time to be morning 10 o'clock, August 27, 2028. Now here we can see this points. It is logical statements that Indian naval submarines surrounding the Bangladeshi naval borders. And now here we can say the statements of Maulana Abu Adnan is illogical. Okay. Now here we can see the sponge. Now let's check it. What would occur the momentums? And now let's check it. And now we can notify. Well. It is the girls Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's. Now when we are talking about well, Indian naval to attack Bangladeshi naval terrorists on Dhaka, Bangladesh. Well, Indian naval submarines can travel uh, where sea, Arabian Sea, uh, Red Gulf of Aden, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, Northern Atlantic Oceans. Here, Caribbean Gulf, Middle Atlantic Oceans, and Southern Atlantic Oceans, and Atlantic Antarctica Oceans, Pacific Oceans, and now then here Bay of Bengals. That is the travel points. Okay. Now here we can see that what is the travel momentums at the moment. Now let's discuss about the kinetic force. Well, when the travel velocity of Indian naval submarines to be 83,000 kilometer per second, hence here value of lambda subtract by 1 is 0.082911. Okay. Now in these points here we can state about the moments. Well, each of both of Indian naval submarines and Bangladeshi terrorist submarines contains the weight to be 34,000 kilograms. I apologize, 34 million kilograms as a weight of every submarines to be both of Indian naval submarines and Bangladeshi terrorist submarines. Okay. And now in this points, here the calculation we can calculate here in statistic energy of Indian naval submarines and half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist submarines. Okay. Now let's take the points. What is half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist submarines? That is 17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilograms. Okay. And now let's consider the statistic energy of Indian naval submarines. What would be that? That is 34 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 multiplied by 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16. How could we calculate? Here the point is, we know here naval submarines would be almost, and here the equations of Einsteinian statistic energy is weight of submarines multiplied by velocity of light square, where velocity is 300,000 km per second. That means 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Hence, velocity of light square is 9 multiplied by 10 to the power 16 meter square per second square. And here we can see the response. What is 34 multiplied by 9? That is 306. What is 6 sum by 16? That is 22. Hence, the statistic energy of the Indian naval submarine would be 306 multiplied by 10 to the power 22. Okay. In that case, when travel time is 1 second, because here velocity is 83,000 kilometers and naval distance is 83,000 kilometers per second, in that point, kinetic power is kinetic energy. Okay. Now here, kinetic power is kinetic energy. Hence, here the equations of kinetic powers as an Albert Einsteinian kinetic method is statistic energy of Indian naval submarines multiplied by bracket of lambda subscript by 1. Okay. What is lambda subscript by 1? That is 0.082911. Hence the calculation is 306 multiplied by 10 to the power 22 multiplied by 0.082911. And now here we can see this points. How is going the calculations? Okay. Now here I think here calculation is going to be here significant moments. 306 multiplied by 0.082911 multiplied by 10 to the power 22. Okay, and now let's check it. What is the results? Well, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, that is here we can see the sponge 253.707 multiplied by 10 to the power 21 watts. That means here 253.707 quadrillions megawatt is the kinetic powers to be Indian naval submarines to attack on Bangladeshi naval terrorists on Dhaka, Bangladesh. And that was the significant momentum at the points. Maulana Abu Toha Adnan contains no knowledge that what is here points about what is she can do about the Bangladeshi naval terrorists to attack on Indian sovereignty. And but now let's check the points. What is the kinetic powers of Bangladeshi naval terrorists? Here we can see this. Well, Bangladeshi naval terrorist velocity is almost 83 km per hour. Well, and here naval distance is almost 83,000 kilometers. And here the method of Bangladeshi terrorist submarine kinetic powers equation to be here half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist submarines multiplied by tons square divided by travel time cube. Okay. And now here we can see the points. What is travel time? That is 1000 hours. That means here 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 seconds. Hence the travel time cube is 36 cube multiplied by 10 to the power 5 cube second cube. What is 10 to the power 5 cube? That is 10 to the power 15. What is 36 cube? That is 45,656. Okay. And here we can see the spots. Well, now let's say what is the naval distance. That is 83,000 kilometers. That means it is almost 83 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 meters. Okay. Hence, naval distance square is 83 square multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter square. Well, now let's check it. What is 83 square? Here we can see this. That is the significant points. Well, 83 square is almost 6400 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 80 multiplied by 9. Okay. What is 6 multiplied by 80? That is 480. 6400 sum by 480 is 6880. Okay. Hence, 83 square is 6889. Well, hence the naval distance square is 6889 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 meter square. Now here we can see what is half of weight of Bangladeshi terrorist submarines, that is 17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 kilograms. In this momentum, well, the calculations of Bangladeshi terrorist submarine kinetic power is 17 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 multiplied by 6889 multiplied by 10 to the power 12 divided by 45,656 divided by 10 to the power 15, and that is the points. Well, now here we can see this. What is 10 to the power 12 multiplied by 10 to the power 6? That is 10 to the power 18. And what is here 10 to the power 18 divided by 10 to the power 15? That is 1000. Okay. And here is calculation is 17,000 multiplied by 6889 divided by 45,656. Okay. Let's check it. What is the significant calculation? The momentums. Well. Now let's check it. What is here significant calculations? 17,000 multiplied by 6889 divided by 45,656. Now let's check it. What is the points? Here point is kinetic power would be 2566 watts. Okay. Now here we can see this 2566 watt is the kinetic powers of Bangladeshi naval terrorists with the naval distance to be 83,000 kilometers. And that is the points. Okay. And here is going to be noticed that here, well, with every 7 oceans travelings, here Indian naval submarine can depart from Kolkata and attack on Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, with the naval distance of 83,000 kilometers with the kinetic powers to be 253.707 quadrillion megawatts. On the other hand, here Bangladesh naval submarines can attack on Kolkata with the travel distance of 83,000 kilometers with the kinetic power to be 2566 watts. Now where is 2566 watts and where is 253.707 quadrillion megawatts, and that is the significant difference. We could calculate it. And now that is at the significant journeys at the points. And now here is my questions. Here is my question at the moment. When Indian naval submarine is too powerful that they can travel 3,000 kilometers in 1 second to attack Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, with the departure of Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal, the provincial state of India, under the request of Shubhendu Adhikari, the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal, the provincial state of India. Then what is the logic of Maulana Toha Adnan that here Bangladeshi can capture the India with 1 second. And what is the logic of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan that here the Bangladeshi is surrounding the India? What is the logic? Well, here we can see this points to attack Dhaka, Bangladesh. Indian with naval submarines with the kinetic force to be 253.707 quadrillion megawatts. In 1 second, Indian naval submarine can travel where okay. Indian naval submarines can travel Arabian Sea, Red Sea, Mediterranean Sea, the eastern naval borders of United States of America, northern naval borders of Venezuela, well, eastern naval borders of Argentina, well, and the Atlantic naval borders, uh, southern naval borders both of Australia and New Zealand, well, naval borders of China. Then what in 1 second, and what is the logic of Maulana Abu Taha Adnan that Bangladeshi is surrounding India, where Indian naval submarine can travel the Chinese naval border to attack the Bangladeshi terrorists in Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. That is here out of the logics as we could notify. Okay, and now let's check it the moments. What is significance points that is going on? Okay. No, well, now here we can see this is the points. Maulana Abu Toha Adnan is significantly wrong. And here we can see this point. Maulana Abu Toha does not know. Here Myanmar army is ready to attack Bangladesh with here. Okay. Now here we can see the Myanmar army is ready to attack Bangladesh with the support of India. I mean to support India. Well, here we can see the funds. Afghanistan is considering India as a friend. We could not mention the diplomatic relations between Afghanistan and India because today's topic is naval submarines. Okay, and here we can see here is the rivalry between India versus Pakistan. Well, Pakistan can consider India as an enemy. India can consider Pakistan as an enemy. But when the topic is here to attack on Bangladeshi terrorists on Dhaka, Bangladesh, even Pakistani armies considers Bangladesh as a terrorist country. In that point, Pakistani army is dedicated to attack on Bangladeshi terrorists on Dhaka, Bangladesh. On the other hand, here we can see the points. China condemns the rivalry China considers India as enemy. India considers China as an enemy. But when the topic is they here eliminate Bangladeshi terrorists in Dhaka, Bangladesh, here China is ready to support India to just only in the purpose to eliminate Bangladeshi terrorists in Dhaka, Bangladesh, because Bangladeshi terrorists is the threat for the security of Chinese sovereignty, and that is the significant points. Okay, but now here we can see this moments. China considers that the necessity between, China considers that diplomatic relations between India and China is necessity for the economical growth of China. In this moment at the points. Well, and now every countries are a friend of India's in South Asia. Just two countries can be enemy of India. That is, one is Pakistan and another is Bangladesh. But now sometimes India can be potential country to be friend of India. I apologize here. Pakistan can be potential friend of India, but Bangladesh is impossible. Okay. And now here we can see this. What is the cause? The cause is Indian naval submarine can contains the velocity to be 83,000 km per second, where Bangladeshi terrorist contains here naval submarine with a velocity of 83 km per hour. Now here we can see the points. Well, who is potential friend of China and Afghanistan and Myanmar? India or Bangladesh? Well, Bangladeshi naval submarines contains the velocity of 83 km per hour. Indian naval submarines velocity is 83,000 km per second. Now, as an Afghan citizen, who would be my foreign friend, India or Bangladesh? Of course, here the common sense is India would be the foreign friend of Afghanistan in lieu of Bangladesh, because Bangladesh is not acceptable to be friends. Okay. Now here we can see the points. What about the Nepal? Nepal is considering India as a friend. Well, it is the out of topics of naval sovereignty. Well, here Sri Lanka is considering India as a friend. Okay, now we can see the points. If Bangladeshi naval submarines want to attack on Chennai with the departures of Chittagong, the city of Bangladesh, here Sri Lankan naval, Sri Lankan Navy would attack on the Bangladeshi terrorist submarines. But if Indian naval submarines would attack on Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, where departure would be Chennai, here Sri Lanka would support India. That is their significant points. And at the momentum we can see. Well, but accordance with Maulana Abu Toha Adnan, we Bangladeshi are supporting India, where Sri Lanka does not supporting India. That is not the true. The true is opposite of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan at the moment. Okay, now let's take the points. Let's talk about the fuel. Okay, in the fuel systems, that is decided that in South Asia, who would be the friend of the South Asian country? Is Pakistan, and India or Bangladesh? Okay. Well, now here we can see this points. Indian naval submarines contains the velocity to be here. Let take a breath. And here, Indian naval submarines kinetic power is 253.707 quadrillion megawatts. Now, in this point, here kinetic power is kinetic energy, hence the energy is 253.707 quadrillion megajoule. That's fine. Okay. And now, let's check it. What is the significant points? In that moment, well, what is the Indian naval submarines fuel? That is artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And now, here is the moments. What is the meaning of that? Okay? Now let's get the points. Well, now, okay. And here we can see, here is the significant calculations. That is significance. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 708. Well, 253. Well, 253.708 multiplied by 10 to the power 21. Okay. And now, let's check it the moments. Divided by, well, artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of, well, 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Well, hence here, what is the specific heat of artificial solar arc reactor? That is 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And here we have mentions. Okay. Now here we have mentions the points, temperatures. Well, okay. And now let's check it. It is almost here 2.48 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 635 picograms of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. And that is your significant probable points. And that is the necessity of fuel of Indian naval submarines to attack on Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh, where target is Bangladeshi terrorist, particularly Bangladeshi terrorist Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. And now it is the significant points, that is the notifications we could see. Well, now here we can see that is the points. Okay. And here now 2.48. Let's check it. What is here Bangladeshi terrorist kinetic energy in the naval distance to be 83,000 kilometers. That is here 2566 multiplied by 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5. And here what is the fuel? Fuel is petrols. And what is the specific heat of fuel? Well, the specific heat of fuel of petrol is 2 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And what is the temperature distance? That is 50 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, what is the density of petrol? That is 0.7778 kilogram per liters. Okay, and now that is the significant momentums. Well, how much liter of petrol so Bangladeshi terrorist requires? In that point, the calculation is 2566 multiplied by 36 multiplied by 10 to the power 5 divided by bracket of 2 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 0.778. Okay. What is 10 to the power 5 divided by 100? Well, that is 1000. Okay. Now here we can see this points. Now, where is the calculation going on? Here we can see this calculations going on is 2566 multiplied by 36 multiplied by 1000, okay, divided by 0.778. Okay. Now what is the meaning of that? That is almost 120 million liters of petrol requires of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's Bangladeshi terrorist submarines. Okay. Now here we can see this points. That is the significant notifications. Here Bangladeshi naval terrorist can attack on Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal, the provincial state of India, with the naval distance of 83,000 kilometers, just to eliminate Shubhendru Adhikari, the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal Provincial State of India. What is the cost? What is the reasons that here Maulana Abu Toha Adnan want to send the Bangladeshi terrorist submarines with the naval distance of 83,000 kilometers to attack on Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal Provincial State of India, to eliminate Shubhendru Adhikari, the Honorable Chief Minister of West Bengal of India. Here we can see that is the significant cost, as that is the dangerous moments. Okay, because here we can see here now in Bhabanipur provincial, in Bhabanipur constituencies, Shubhendru Adhikari contains the vote of 73,917 Indian voters. And now that is the problematic for Maulana Abu Toha Adnans. Okay. Now here we can see that here is the points to be notified. Okay. And now I think we have covered here almost 103 minutes of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan's video about the Indian sovereignty. That was the significant momentums as we could notify. Well, and now I think we have to move on some points. Okay, now let's check it. Oh my God. Well, here is the significant misinformations of Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Here we could see that is the moments. Okay. Now here I am busting the significant misinformation. We can see the points. Well, now here we can see the moments. The Bangladeshi terrorists want to attack on Kolkata with the naval distance of 83,000 kilometers with the velocity of 83 kilometer per hours. And where how much petrol is required? That is 118,765,750 liters of petrol. Almost here 120 liters of petrols. Okay. Now here we can see this moments. Well, now let's check the points. Well, what is the realities of momentums? That is here significance. And here now surprisingly, well, Indians are providing several tons of petrol to Bangladesh. Hence that Bangladeshi terrorist submarine can attack on Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal, the provincial state of India. That is here we can see. Well, that was India. That I am sending 120 million liters of petrol to my enemy. Hence that he can attack on me with the naval distance to be 83,000 kilometers, with the naval velocity to be 83 kilometers per hour. And that is a significant job we could see. Okay. Now let's check it. Well, now here how much liter of petrol India provide to Bangladesh in 2026. Okay, and now here we can see this moments. Okay, in 2026 here Bangladesh is expected to import 180,000 tons or low sulfur diesels from India through India Bangladesh friendship pipelines. That is the record is in accordance with the calendar of 2026, where in 2026 Bangladesh is enemy of India in 2 years. But still, India provide Bangladesh as a 180,000 tons. I mean here, we could say the points here, 180 million kilograms of petrol India provides to Bangladesh. And that is the significant points. Okay. And here we can see what is the calculations. Well, the calculations is significant at the moment. Now let's take it. Well, 180 is 6 divided by, well, 0.778. What is the moles? Well, now approximately here 200 32 million liters of petrol India provides to Bangladesh, hence that Bangladeshi naval terrorists can attack on Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal, the provincial state of India, with the velocity of 83 km per hour, with the travel time to be 80, and with the naval distance to be here 83,000 kilometers. To only in the purpose to eliminate Shubhendu Adhikari, the honorable Hindu Chief Minister of West Bengal. That is India's mercy. Well, it is the level of Indian mercy. Okay. Now here we can see these points. What if China would be neighbor of India? Well, India is neighbor of China, of course, in reality, but what if Bangladesh would be neighbor of China? And Maulana Abu Toha Adnan would be dedicated to eliminate Xi Jinping, the president of China. In that case, here we can see, well, this in the accordance with the following plan, here Xi Jinping would never export 0.1 liter petrol to Bangladeshi. And if Bangladeshi terrorists, the populations of 200 million to be Bangladeshi terrorists would die, here Xi Jinping and entire Chinese would dance, because here enemy to be Bangladeshi terrorists as Chinese neighbor is dead. It is the celebration moment. It will be the celebration moment for Chinese China. Okay. On the other hand, now let's replace Cuba by Bangladesh, and here Bangladesh would be neighbor country of United States of America. In this point, so here we can see this. Here is the plan of Bangladeshi terrorists to attack on Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, with the naval distance will be 83,000 kilometers with the velocity of 83 kilometers per hour. Well, to protect communist Zohran Mamdani, capitalist President Donald Trump would attack on the neighbor country Bangladesh and eliminate 200 million Bangladeshi terrorists, and after the death of 200 million Bangladeshi terrorists, Donald Trump and the entire United States of America would be celebrating. It is the points. But what about the India? Well, here is the plans that Bangladeshi terrorists may require 120 million liters of petrol to attack on Kolkata, the capital city of West Bengal provincial state of India, with the travel with a naval distance of 83,000 kilometers and velocity to be 83 kilometers per hour, to eliminate Shubhendu Adhikari, the Hindu Chief Minister of West Bengal. But still, here India is supporting Bangladesh with 232 million liters of petrol. Now here is the points in the calendar of 2026. But Maulana Abu Adnan states that here We Bangladeshis are providing bandar, we Bangladeshis are providing transits, we Bangladeshis are providing labor. Well, I think it would be the another point. Which type of labor energies Bangladeshi export to India? It would be the next live stream to roast Maulana Abu Toha Adnan. Because here we can see these points. It is the link with the West Bengal election 2026 and probably here Assam election 2026. Okay. Now let's get the points. Here I would mention West Bengal elections. Okay, now here we can see that is the significant points that can be concerned at the moment. Well. Yeah, when Indian government rejecting Bangladeshi naval energy, Bangladesh terrorists are planning to attack on India. I mean the sovereignty of West Bengal. But still, here India is providing 232 million liters of petrol. Well, now here we can see this point. Now here is the moment how India is supporting Bangladesh. That is the significant dangerous moments as we could see. Okay, but I think here we can see that is the momentums of the points to be notified. Now here is the points I over the today's live stream, and my next live stream would be how much Bangladeshi naval, how much Bangladeshi labor energy Bangladeshi export to India, and what is the reality of Bangladeshi labor energies. Okay. Now here we can see this points student. Khuda Hafiz. Love you.